I blame this entire series of videos on Pac-Man Case. And if you want to know why, just check out the end of the last video real quick. If you guys remember at Siege, I picked up a Neo Geo Pocket Color, and I decided then and there, thanks to some helpful prodding from Andy from Pac-Man Case, that I should be going for the full Neo Geo Pocket Color set. Yeah, that's right, I am going for a complete Neo Geo Pocket Color set. This is the Neo Geo Pocket Color Pursuit. Welcome to the first episode in the series. And why do I blame Pac-Man Case? I will tell you. Actually, I'll just show you, because if you guys have been on the channel for a while, or this is your first time here, what's going on? I'm Jay, welcome to Square Pegs, glad you're here. I went to the Southeast Game Exchange in July this year, and I was on an express purpose to find nothing but Sega stuff. It is, after all, or it was, after all, the Summer of Sega, which we celebrated this past Wednesday. But, unfortunately, or fortunately, a little bit from A, a little bit from B, I think that's probably the best way to put it. Andy works for the Video Game Cavern in Greenville, South Carolina, and I went to their booth set up at Southeast Game Exchange, and lo and behold, I saw Neo Geo Pocket Color.
Here at the Video Game Cavern, where the wonderful Pac-Man Case works, and yeah, there's some goodies in there.
Now, I have long loved the NGPC. It has been one of my favorite handhelds for a long time, and I saw the system that they offered. It's the one I used to own. Saw the price they had on it. It was one I was more than comfortable paying. And I saw that they also had a game. In fact, I'm just going to roll the footage so you can see exactly how this went.
No. Listen. So, Andy.
What's up, dog?
Remember yesterday when I got that Neo Geo Pocket Color?
Yes.
And how excited I was?
Yeah.
Can I make a confession?
Yeah.
I forgot to buy a game.
Do we have any?
You do. You have 4. So that's why I'm back. I meant to come back yesterday, and I was just like, I'm too embarrassed, but I have to fess up today. I used to have one years ago, and I just lost it. It went on walkabout. So yesterday relaunches it.
Okay.
Now the Neo Geo Pocket Color Pursuit begins.
Okay.
Which is not a cheap pursuit.
Is that a real series? Because you should totally do that. Hey, Wagner, can I see King of Fighters Round 2 on the Neo Geo?
That one right there.
Ooh,
that is the first one back. Right there.
I like it.
So yeah, I pulled the trigger, and unfortunately I don't have my system here right now. It's actually out getting repaired. I want to thank Retro Rob for taking care of that for me, but the first game I did pick up was this one here, King of Fighters R2. A fighting game on a handheld, not necessarily something that a lot of people want to talk about, but for me, I really do like the fighting games on the Neo Geo Pocket Color. I really do like most of the library, but I found this one, and this is what started it all. This was the game that I kind of kicked off this pursuit with, and I was not anticipating finding anything else for a good long time, just because if you know anything about the Neo Geo Pocket Color, it's hard to find stuff for. It's not a huge library. It didn't sell terribly well, so finding things for it can prove to be a little bit tricky, but I did find this one and I was excited to add it. Now fast forward a couple of months to the Cleveland Gaming Classic, and I am there at the end of September. It's one of my favorite shows. I always like going to Cleveland. Cleveland's a hell of a town, and I walked in and I found a booth called Robzilla Games LLC, and I want to thank the folks from Robzilla for one, being just amazing and being awesome, and I found a game specifically for the Neo Geo Pocket Color.
That's a maybe. That's a big maybe. Just spent some time talking to the good folks from Robzilla Games. They're located in Iowa. They've got an online presence. Be sure to look them up. Great people. Really nice to talk to.
Baseball Stars Color. Now, I have been a fan of Baseball Stars for a very, very long time. It is one of my favorite NES games. It is just a brilliant interpretation of baseball. SNK can't miss as far as I'm concerned, but it was something where I wanted to get this. I wanted to add this to the collection, and they cut me a good deal. It books for about 70, they sold it to me for 60, and I really appreciated that. And I'm very, very excited to have it in the collection. But that's not all, because it wasn't the only thing I found when I was in Cleveland. It was the only game I found at the show, but we actually ended up going out to a few different stores on Sunday after the show with our friends Andy and Lindsay from LL Cool Games, and we found a lot more. Now, this is actually a pretty cool experience, because I mentioned this in my video on Friday, but Andy's a good friend, and I think Andy gets excited when he goes game hunting with people, and he knows when someone's looking for something. Andy had gone out the day before and went to one of the stores there called The Exchange, and there's several around the area, but there was one in particular that had a bunch of Neo Geo Pocket Color games and he excitedly told me about it the night before at dinner. And I was stoked, to say the least. And I had never been to the Exchange. My friend Corey had been to the one in Chicago a bunch of times, but I'd never actually been to one. So I was excited to just go. We actually, I think, went to 3 different exchanges that day. We went to 3 exchanges and a half-price books. And the one we went to in Medina, Ohio, was kind of the treasure trove, because that is where I found not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 Neo Geo Pocket Color games. I want to thank Game Dad for the footage here, because I went and didn't film. I didn't film a damn thing.
Jay is so excited right now. There's so many Neo Geo Pocket and Color games right now.
Oh, they have Sonic.
They have Sonic. Jay, are you gonna get it?
I am.
He doesn't even know the price yet, and he's committed. Wait, I didn't see how much is it. 45. Where'd you see the price? It's on the side. Oh, I see it. Okay. Nice.
All right, got a couple of goodies here. We got King of Fighters R2 and Fatal Fury First Contact. Very nice. Didn't have either of those.
I was excited to go, and this store is amazing. So the ones I got out of the case are Metal Slug, the first mission. Samurai Shodown 2. And the game that concluded the Summer of Sega, Sonic the Hedgehog Pocket Adventure Color. Each of those games are fantastic. Each of them are absolutely wonderful. And there was a lot of happiness to be found there when I found those games, because it's something that does not show up here in Michigan. It's not something that I ever see for sale, although there is one for sale at Replay at Retro right now. I'm hoping to get there this weekend to actually pick it up, but we'll see. But I found those 3 and I was ecstatic to add those. But then I moved to the front of the store where they have some of their bigger ticket items, and I found this.
Jay, do you see anything you want? Who's a Watatron? Yeah, sure, that. Yeah, bless you. Where's that at? Ooh, they do got a sponge. Oh, there we go.
Hello.
It gets his motor running a Tron. All right, Jay, what'd you pick up?
So I got Metal Slug First Mission,
Very nice, very nice.
Sonic the Hedgehog Pocket Adventure,
And what else did you get?
and the big one, Motor Unitron.
Motor Unitron. Very nice. Are you happy?
I am super happy.
And I won't lie to you, I hemmed and I hawed. I didn't know whether or not I was going to pull the trigger on it. I had plenty of cash left over, but it was something where I wasn't sure I was going to really dive in and go for it, because it is a fairly expensive system to collect for. And I had already spent, or already decided to spend, a couple $100, and I didn't know if I wanted to add on another 120, but of course the game had to come home with me. It's something I've never seen ever in the wild. Even at a show, I've never seen the game for sale. So to add one of the big ticket games in Motor Unitron to my collection was something that I was absolutely thrilled to do. All right, so update 1 of the Neo Geo Pocket Color Pursuit. We have 6 out of the 32 game library in the collection now. I don't have a fancy display system like Andy does for his N64 Pursuit, but we're gonna get there. I'm gonna figure something out. I'll probably get a couple more of the coin shells like I have for my GBA games and display them in that, because it looks really nice. But stick with me. This is not gonna be something that I do every month, not gonna be something I do every week, just because it's a hard system to collect for. It's hard to find all the games for it. But I am going to be looking at every convention I go to, at every store I go to, in hopes of finding something awesome for the Neo Geo Pocket Color. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about this. Let me know if you have played the Neo Geo Pocket Color, what you think of the games I picked up, If you are at all a completionist, if this is something that interests you, please do let me know. Till next time, folks, I've been Jay. Appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me. Remember to play more games, stay square, and take care. I'll talk to you soon.